In the beginning of the movie, we see that the king of Wakanda, whose name is T'Challa, is fighting a very dangerous disease. A disease that Wakanda doesn't have a cure for. His sister Shuri is doing many tests in her lab to save her brother's life. She is trying to make a herb that can cure her brother. Actually, at this time there is not even a single herb in Wakanda. Shuri tries a lot here, but still she isn't successful in making that herb. She asks her robot about her brother, on which the robot says that T'Challa's condition is very delicate and it is very difficult to save him. The speed of his heartbeat is also constantly falling down. Immediately Shuri's mother Ramonda comes to Shuri, who says, "Just stop, Shuri. Stop doing all this, there is no use. Because T'Challa is no longer alive and he is dead." As soon as she says this, Shuri and her mother Ramonda both start crying. Next day T'Challa's funeral is done, where all the people of Wakanda say goodbye to their king. 1 year later, Wakanda has spent this time without any of his king or queens. But now 1 year has passed. Wakanda has made Ramonda his queen, so that she can take her son's place and take care of Wakanda. In the next scene, a large ship is shown in the sea. The ship was actually like a lab. The scientists were doing research on a dangerous metal. But then some soldiers come there and attack them. These soldiers actually came there to steal that metal. But then the soldiers of Wakanda also come there and attack those soldiers. After killing them, they make them prisoners and imprison them. Next day we see that a very big meeting is held in all the countries of the world, in which the Queen of Wakanda is also called. Here the leaders of all the countries of the world says to Ramonda that your country Wakanda cannot protect the most dangerous metals in the world. Because it is not in your power to protect it, that's why you should give us all your metal. We will keep it safe. You don't even have to worry about it. In response to this, Ramonda says that Wakanda has been protecting this metal for thousands of years and will continue to do this. And the thing that we hand metals to you. So this cannot happen because we know that you will make dangerous weapons from that metal with which you will destroy the world. As soon as she says this, she also presents all the soldiers there who came to steal that metal in Wakanda's ship. After this she says that we all know what you are thinking. You think that King of Wakanda is dead, so there is no king or Black Panther to protect Wakanda, and now is the right time to steal that metal. But let me remind you not to be in this misconception. Although Wakanda has lost their king, but Wakanda's soldiers know how to protect their country. After saying this, she warns the whole world that even after this, if anyone looks at Wakanda or his metal, the results will not be good at all. The scene again shifts to the sea, where we see some soldiers and officers. All these soldiers and officers were actually from agency. They are looking for that metal in the sea. They also had a machine that could find that metal. Finally they find out about that metal. 2 officers go into the water to see that metal, but then they were attacked. The attackers are none others than the soldiers of Namor. The name of the city of Namor is Talokan. The people of Talokan kill all the American soldiers. Here we also find out that when this metal came to the earth from the sky thousands of years ago, it fell into the sea of Talokan along with Wakanda. But because they have that metal, the soldiers of Talokan have made their own weapons from it. The weapon that Namor uses is also made of that metal. On the other scene, Ramonda brings her daughter Shuri to the bank of a river. Ramonda burns her white dress. She did this so that the sorrow of her son's death would come out. Actually, people of Wakanda think that if we burn the white dress, the sorrow of the dead will come out and we will not remember it. But because Shuri doesn't believe in this, so she doesn't burn her dress. They both start crying in the memory of T'Challa. Meanwhile, Namor comes out of the river. He says that I am the king of Talokan City and I want to talk to you about T'Challa's mistake that he made. Since T'Challa has extended the hand of friendship to the whole world, everyone knows about Wakanda. Due to this, whole world knows about that metal and also that Wakanda has that metal. My people's lives are in danger because we also have that metal. I believe that since the world has known that Wakanda has that metal, the whole world has been after you. And if the world comes to know that we also have that metal, they will attack us and will make our lives miserable. Sooner or later they will come to know about this because the Americans have a machine that can find this metal. That machine has been made by a very clever scientist of America. Namor says that we should unite and destroy the whole world. Because the whole world will destroy Wakanda and Talokan. If we both destroy the whole world, we will be able to live our lives in peace and tranquility. After hearing this, Ramonda gets irritated and refuses to accept his offer. She says that we don't want any destruction, we want peace. Namor says that it's okay if Wakanda doesn't want to unite with Talokan. But you will have to find that scientist who has made the machine to find that metal. So that I can kill that scientist. Due to which the Americans won't come to look for that metal. Namor gives them 1 week and says that I will come again after a week. Not alone but with my entire army, and by then if you hand over that scientist to us, we will understand that Wakanda is our friend. But if this doesn't happen, then we will destroy Wakanda along with the whole world. After saying this, Namor leaves from there. Ramonda comes back and gives this task to her general to find that scientist. The scientist who has made that machine. The general says that I want to take your daughter Shuri with me. Where Ramonda first refuses but later agrees to take her. After which Shuri and the general reach America and somehow find that scientist. Here they find out that the scientist is a 19-year-old girl going to college. Her name is Ironheart. As soon as they find her, they find out that the people of the agency have been after them for a long time. And they have always kept an eye on Shuri and Ironheart. They tell them to surrender, but then that scientist that is Ironheart wears her suit and leaves from there. Shuri and the general also take their car and bike and leave from there. They somehow escape from the agency, but as they go ahead, the soldiers of Talokan attack them. Namor has sent those soldiers so that they can catch Ironheart and bring her to Namor. The soldiers of Talokan are fighting a lot with the general and are trying to take Ironheart with them. But in response, the general also fights them and tries to save Ironheart. The soldiers of Talokan were very strong, so they defeat the general and take Ironheart and Shuri with them. When General returns home alone, she tells Ramonda about this. Ramonda gets very angry hearing this, that being a general she couldn't save them. She removes her from the position of general. After this, Ramonda goes to the old general who is now commander. Ramonda believed that the commander had gone to different countries of the world, so surely she can go to Talokan and save her daughter Shuri and Ironheart. Ramonda tells the commander everything. After which the commander goes directly to Talokan and kills many soldiers there and saves Shuri and Ironheart and brings them back to Wakanda. But when Shuri and Ironheart were with Namor, Shuri had repeatedly told Namor not to kill Ironheart, it is not his fault. During this time, Namor has told her everything from the beginning. We find out that Namor is 450 years old. Where 450 years ago Namor's parents were human. But then along with Namor's parents, everyone in his village was being killed due to disease and poverty. Where they all together pray to God. The God comes in their dreams and tells everyone about a flower which was exactly like that precious powerful herb. The same herb that Shuri was trying to make in her lab. After finding out about that flower, Namor's parents and everyone in the village go into the water to get that flower and drink its juice. But as soon as they drink it, their body and mind completely changes. The color of their whole body had turned blue. They didn't look like humans anymore. But as soon as this happens, their power increased to a large extent. But there was a problem, that these people could not stay on the ground after becoming like this. To stay alive, they go into the water because they can only stay in water. After some time, when Namor was born, he also got these powers. But it was amazing that along with water he could also stay alive on the outside world. Apart from this, he had wings and sharp ears. When he was growing up, it was time for his mother's death. Before her death, his mother had only one last wish. His mother wants to see the earth's ground, and if she can't see it, then she want to be buried in her own village. Now to fulfill his mother's last wish, Namor takes his corpse to his village. But when he go there, he sees that the people outside the village are committing atrocities. They also shoots at Namor, but nothing happened to him. Namor kills all those people and burns the whole place. After this day, Namor starts hating the people living on the outside world. After telling his whole story, he also gives Shuri a bracelet which was made of Talokan's powerful herbs. But when Namor finds out that Commander has taken Shuri and Ironheart with her and she has also killed some of his people, he gets angry at Wakanda. After this, he goes and attacks Wakanda directly. He destroys the whole city, in which many people of Wakanda are killed. Along with that, Queen Ramonda is also killed. He tells them that this attack is just a slight glimpse. After some time I will come with my whole army and I will destroy whole Wakanda. As soon as he says this, he leaves with his army. When Shuri finds out that my mom has died, she gets very sad, and to stop Namor and to take revenge, she starts working on the herbs again. She takes out the herbs from the bracelet that Namor gave her and starts testing them on her. Soon she finds out that these are not an ordinary herbs. These are powerful herbs. As soon as she finds out, she mixes all these herbs with her brother T'Challa's DNA. After which she finally makes that herbs. As soon as she drinks it, she thinks that I will see my mom and dad, but she doesn't see them. Instead she sees Killmonger. He tells Shuri that you are not as kind and brave as your brother T'Challa. You are just like me, angry, taking revenge. You just want revenge and you can never take your brother's place. As soon as she hears this, she gets angry. Because of those powerful herbs, she had gotten the powers. By using them, she wears the Black Panther suit and becomes the new Black Panther. Along with this, Ironheart also makes a strong suit for herself, which was quite advanced. They both had already find out that Namor's weakness is heat. If he is kept in heat or kept away from the water, he becomes weak. Shuri takes her army and goes straight to the city of Namor and attacks Talokan. A great fight happens between Wakanda and Talokan. Shuri comes in her Black Panther suit and brings Namor to her big ship. She had put big heaters on her ship from which a lot of heat was coming out. Now with so much heat, Namor becomes weak, but because he had his weapon in his hand, he destroys the whole ship. Due to which the ship is about to fall down. But Shuri somehow takes the ship to a desert so that she can keep Namor away from the water to weaken him. After coming to the desert, a very dangerous fight happens between Namor and Shuri. During the fight, Namor stabs Rod in Shuri's stomach, which makes her very weak. After doing this, Namor starts moving toward the water. But before going to the water, Shuri destroys her broken ship, due to which Namor becomes very weak. After this, Shuri attacks Namor with his weapon and says that either you give up in this war or I will take your life. It is better for you to give up here, because if you don't stop the war, your people will also be killed along with the rest. He agrees with Shuri and gives up. They get together and go to their people and end the war. After which they become friends with each other. Everything was fine. The people of both the countries were very happy. But here we know that the principle of Wakanda is that before any person becomes a king or queen, he has to prove himself. He has to win the sword fight in his country and prove that he is the bravest, powerful and capable of becoming a king. But he has to do all this without using any power. As Shuri will become the next queen, she had to prove herself by winning this fight. After that, it is shown that Shuri is not there, she is missing from there, and there is a powerful and dangerous soldier who is fighting. This means that this soldier would be the new king of Wakanda. Now we see Shuri, who went straight to the commander. There he burned his white dress so that he could come out of his brother and mother's grief. She also started believing in such things. Then commander introduces Shuri to her son and tells him that I and your brother T'Challa secretly got married. And this child is mine and T'Challa's. Only Ramonda knew this, after which you also found out today. Here that child tells Shuri his name, with which this story ends here. That's all for today, folks. Thanks for watching. Stay blessed and see you in the next video.